morning, everybody. This is Eureka John, and you're at Eureka Street Crypto Hub, broadcasting live on Theta TV at 5:51 in the morning, and it is June 22nd, 2021, and I'm coming at you from Leander, Texas. This is my video blog, and that's all it is, and it's just me talking about things that I learn every single day in crypto and documenting my crypto experience as I journey through all this and learn everything from coding to things about gold and how it interacts with the crypto world, mining, macroeconomic stuff, and stuff even down to just how DeFi protocols work. I mean, everything about crypto. So I'm not in it to find some kind of niche. I am just looking at anything and everything that has to do with crypto, even meme coins and Decentraland and whatever. Let's just look at it and see what it is. And I like to know. I just like to know what's out there. And if I'm more interested in it, then I will dig deeper. And just follow down and go down that rabbit hole for the day. That's what it's all about, is finding these rabbit holes, spending a little time in them, poking around, and seeing if it's something that interests you, and if not, back on out. And if so, then go deeper. So that's kind of how I do things. And hey, good morning, Randy. How you doing? Let me break out this chat box here, and some of you people have jumped on and kind of have followed this path with me, and I appreciate that. That's really cool of you guys, and hopefully I can be of some value and helping you guys to learn some new stuff as well. And I've learned a lot too from people sending me ideas or links and things like that as well. I still have a few of these ideas I want to get to. I usually think about these on my commute, going down to and from work, and then by the time I get home, I'm so distracted with family and kids I forget about it. But I try to get to as many of these ideas as possible. Somebody else had offered another solution to the composability issue that I brought up last week, and I still need to research into that. So I will. And then there's Polkamine too. I wanted to look into that as a hashing alternative to BTCST and the Mars protocol thing. So anyway, let's go over here to CoinGecko and see what's up. Obviously the market is, a lot of people are calling it a bear market now and all this stuff, and maybe, but when in doubt, zoom out. Seriously, look at where we were this time last year, and bear markets don't seem so bad. There's been plenty of corrections in the crypto world, and I'm not just driving on hopium. I'm in this for the entire macro picture. I'm in it for the tech. Like, I seriously, have been studying code. I would like to go into some, at least if I'm not going to be a developer, maybe some business development. And, I think learning code enough to be able to parse it down and know exactly what it does, and to look at some code and to know that something might be out of place or shouldn't be there or sloppy or something like that, in order to be able to determine whether something is a solid app or not, or a Dapp, a decentralized application. I think that's important, and that's what I'm trying to achieve in that aspect. It's being 45 and trying to venture down a new career path is a little scary, because I want to hold on to my day job. So there's this thing of, do I want to jump all in? And I know if I did not work where I worked, I would have all day, every day, to just dive in. And I'm confident in my ability to pick things up. And within about 6 months, I think I could be, on the level I need to be to work full time and possibly as a developer. But it just takes cojones, especially when you have a family and a paycheck that you're earning every single day, and you're working hard. So I don't want to leave that. So it's Always a struggle, and you don't want to go through life saying, well, I wish I would have as well, no regrets, right? You don't want to go through life with regrets, but at the same time, you don't want to make stupid decisions either. And so, yeah, but either way, I'm going to keep on the track I'm keeping on. I don't mind waking up super early like this to, read and explore crypto. Like I said yesterday, I go to bed early and make sure I have enough sleep to be able to absorb everything like a super sponge instead of being dragged out and tired to where I don't absorb anything. And sleep is super important, so is diet and exercise, of course, as well. So, hey, 29LH06, yes sir, or ma'am. But how you doing today? Welcome back. And so we have Bitcoin at 31,873.51 in the possible bear market here. I mean, yeah, maybe it's like a panda bear, like a cute bear, koala bear. I don't think this is like a grizzly bear market. Or Tether in the third place is stablecoin. So let's see how many stablecoins we have in the top 10. So we have Tether, we have USDC and Binance USDC, all stablecoins in the top 10. I'm not sure what that means, but if somebody has any ideas of why there's so many stablecoins right now up here, then that would be interesting to know. So Cardano, $1.13, XRP. This time last year, Cardano too was like way down at like 12 cents, I think. So, like I said, when in doubt, zoom out. And I'm not trying to provide false hope. I do believe all this on a macro trend, this current technology is moving forward. I was listening to Bankless podcast yesterday on the way home, and there's this guy Joe Diario or something like that. I'm about 1/3 of the way through the podcast already, and it's that good that I already have to talk about it. I was gonna wait till tomorrow to complete the podcast, but the guy makes a great point. He says there's the super early investors that believe in the progression of the space. They're the pioneers, and he's kind of a macro guy, and he's an older gentleman, and he's been through the first crash of 1987, then through the dot-com crash, and then now he went through the 2008 crash, and then now he's probably projecting another pretty large crash coming up pretty soon here too as well. But his point is in the dot-com bubble, there was pioneers, and these are the people that know the tech well. They believe the tech is going to move forward, and I like to consider myself possibly one of those people that is really trying to dive deep into the tech to gain a first, not going to say first, maybe a first mover advantage into learning everything that there is about it, because I believe I may have said this yesterday too. If you are back then, if you learned how to develop a website early, you were doing very well for yourself before building a website became modulated and automated, and anybody with half a brain could build a website with some of these what you see is what you get WYSIWYG type of web development platforms. But back then, before that, if you could code a website, you were doing very well. And then, so now I believe the same thing is kind of happening in blockchain technology. If you can build Dapps right now, then you'll do very well before a lot of this stuff gets automated and all that. And, and then everybody knows how to build Dapps. Because right now, blockchain technology is super new in some areas, and being able to integrate those with websites, I think, is very important in building Dapps. So I have a whole article that I've been digging into, and it gets really deep. And then, after the pioneers, he said there's just wild speculators. The fire catches on, and everybody hears about this new technology. Then all the speculation jumps in, and the hype and everything like that. And that's when a lot of money comes in, and then everything just blows way out of proportion. And then right now, a lot of that has died down, and so they're waiting for the next people to come in to kind of fan that, and that would be the Blazers, the Wall Street guys coming in with their big money and the institutional money, and we have to wait for them to catch on and to come up with kind of a new idea, because before it was DeFi, and then now that kind of has played out its role last year as DeFi summer, and then now we're waiting for the institutional DeFi players to come in and kind of fan that for a while. And I don't know, I got to finish listening to the podcast. I don't know why I kind of went down that tangent. Anyway, so let's go on down. We have USDC, XRP at 59 cents. Sorry guys. Dogecoin 19 cents, Polkadot 15.20, Binance $1, Binance Cash 437.16, Uniswap 15.77, Litecoin 119.63, Chainlink 16.93, Polygon $1.10, Solana 24.17, Theta is 6.39. So you can get a lot of this stuff for some really good discounts here. So I think this is really going to show who the diamond hands are, and a lot of people have bought in, and the long-term people are here to stay, and they're locked in their positions, and they might even buy more, but they'll at least are locked in now, and they're buckled in for the ride. The short-term people, they're getting shaken out. They'll probably step on the sidelines, which is probably why there's 3 different stable coins here in the top 10. They are stepping out on the sidelines, just waiting to see what's going to happen. And they got out of the pool, and it's adult swim. It's diamond hand swim only. And they are the short-term guys are just waiting on the sidelines, waiting on the side of the pool, going to get a hot dog at the concession stand, letting the boring people just kind of wait around the pool for a while. And the water's calm. It's pretty calm right now, relatively speaking. So, and then let's see, where was I going with that analogy? I don't know. Either way, so you have the long-term people in, the short-term people there, and everybody just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with all this. And either way, I have my positions in, and I'm kind of shuffling things around. I am getting rid of some smaller altcoins that I've had that haven't really done much, and trying to laser focus on some specific ones such as Theta, Chainlink. I'm sticking with Ethereum, Bitcoin. I still have some Cardano and some Zilliqa, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with those. And I think I'll probably just leave it in there. It's not hurting me to just keep it in those two, and let because I have them both earning interest and staking, so it's not hurting anything. And if they catch on after all this is over here, then that's great. But what is driving a lot of this is I believe a lot of it is China and Bitcoin being down, and China having shut down all its Bitcoin is leaving 90% of China's capacity has been shut down over the past 72 hours. We will likely see the largest downward difficulty adjustment in Bitcoin's history on June 30th. Historic and exciting times, and that is true. So it's now that China has always had this ban going on. You and me, we know this because China has always been harassing its Bitcoin people, threatening bans, and they've been saying, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure, we know you don't like us, whatever. Well, China finally, they should have, if they were on top of their game, been making accommodations and moving some things around and doing, alternative action plans for times like this, these miners. But a lot of them haven't. So China went over there, and they didn't just tell them and threaten them to shut down. They actually went and shut off the power and said, no, you're not doing it. I said so, and you did not listen, just like to a 2-year-old. And now I'm going to have to put you in the corner. So they're shutting down China's operations, which is double-edged sword. No, it's bad and it's good. Yeah, and it's bad because obviously it's bad in the short term because look at the price. It's $31,892.40. Okay, But it's good in that 90% of China's mining capacity is shut off in the past 72 hours. We'll likely see the largest downward difficulty adjustment in Bitcoin's history on June 30th. What that means is whenever there is not a lot of hashing power going on and a huge amount of competition between all the nodes, the difficulty goes down. So it opens the door for smaller miners to come in, and then anybody could possibly even have a home miner now. If you have an old ASIC, or not an old one, but if you have an ASIC or a small mining operation, right now might be a good time to jump in and take advantage of what's going on. 29LH06 says China drives down the markets, then they buy up the markets. That is, yeah, that's a possibility too. Maybe they are manufacturing this. It would be amazing if people would fire up all their miners and drive the difficulty rate back up and fire up all these miners up in Europe and South America and North America and everywhere else except China, and then throw a wrench in their plans if that's what they're doing, and driving down the price of Bitcoin, and then drive up Bitcoin again without China. That would be a kick in the butt for sure. Yeah. So, there's a lot of speculation as to what can happen here. But if you have a home miner right now, this might be a great time to fire that thing up and make yourself a Bitcoin node as well. I don't, but I just have a couple GPUs. I don't know if it would be worth it to fire up and allocate those GPUs to Bitcoin mining instead of Ethereum mining right now. And even it barely gets me anything Ethereum mining either. Either way, interesting times, and apparently as well, I think Grayscale is somehow contributing to this. A lot of these Grayscale contracts are expiring, and people are taking profits. And why would you not want to take profits? I mean, it never hurts to take a little bit of profits, and that will contribute to it. And then I guess, the Bitcoin got so expensive for a while, it's hard for that type of price to hold itself for a while. So, but a lot of people and very educated people are saying next fall, at the worst scenario, Bitcoin may be around $35,000 to $40,000, which if you compare it to last year, that's like I said, when in doubt, zoom out. So anyway, but now we have Taproot coming in here. This other tweet here. Bitcoin is making improvements. So whenever there are times like this, people put their heads down and they develop. This happened right before DeFi summer, and then it's happened in previous instances before. I just wasn't into crypto before that time, so I can't specifically be a primary witness to these times. But during these down times, people have put their heads down and they've developed, and they've come out of these little down times with brand new developments in the cryptocurrency space, because the euphoria is over. People are getting back to work, and that's a good thing. So I'm kind of an optimist by nature, and I try to find silver linings to a lot of these clouds here. And this includes myself as well. I'm putting my head down and doing some work in all this stuff. So I might not be up to date on all the latest news, but I'm trying to learn deeper concepts. Excellent overview of the upcoming Taproot upgrade here. Better privacy, cheaper multi-sig, mostly indistinguishable single-sig and multi-sig, lightning improvements, PTLCs and aggregate keys as channel anchors. If PTLCs, it's a variant of the hash time lock contract, which allows atomic swap type of applications, which is peer-to-peer type of trades. And then boost for scripting with DLCs, adapter signatures, and tap trees. I'm not really sure what that is, honestly. So there's this whole thread here. I will link this thread about Taproot, and it goes pretty extensive in this. And I will just go down here. Taproot introduces a new output called pay to Taproot, similar to public key, pay to public key that output locks directly to a public key rather than the hash or a key script. Apparently, pay to Taproot is more efficient than hash-based output. So what happens is Bitcoin, instead of private public key to public key transactions, and the public keys are super long, they did pay to pub key hash, in which the pub key is hashed down to a shorter version of the pub key, but apparently that takes more space. But this Taproot, pay to Taproot, will truncate that as well and eliminate the need for that pay to pub key hash or script address. And then you see here native SegWit, pay to Taproot native SegWit will be the first output type that uses the BEC32M address encoding. I have no idea what that is. I'm going to have to listen to this podcast. It's used for, wow, okay, so that's a little over my head. While the previous output types used elliptical curve digital signing algorithm, pay to Taproot uses Schnorr signatures. Schnorr signatures use a more compact serialization format, making them smaller than ECDSA, and that will make the transactions go faster. And let's see here. Schnorr signature signing algorithm is linear, meaning multiple signatures for the same messages can be aggregated into a single signature. So you won't be able to tell the difference between multi-sig and single sig transactions. And a lot of times Chainalysis people try to use that in order to figure out who's done what and all that type of stuff, which ones are multi-sig addresses and which ones are single sig addresses. Multi-sig wallets are when many people hold the keys to one wallet, kind of like 4 different people holding a key to a nuclear launch code. And with Schnorr signatures, you won't be able to tell if something is a wallet that multiple people, like an organization type of wallet, or just an individual wallet. So it adds kind of a layer of security and an anonymity to the Bitcoin blockchain. So Chainalysis won't be as easy. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Key aggregation allows us to aggregate multiple public keys into one public key, multi-sig 2. So when funds received to such an address are spent, the use of multi-sig is indistinguishable from regular single-use use. That's exactly what I was just talking about there. And then, I don't know, it goes on. A lot of this stuff is honestly over my head, so I'm going to have to educate myself a little bit better. Point time lock contract uses an adapter signature construction to replace the hash time lock contracts currently used by the Lightning Network. The hash time lock contract is where 2 people open it up, and then there's a timed contract. So one person puts money in a box, and then the other person has a specific amount of time to go pick up that money for a transaction. That's how atomic swaps work. And that's a peer-to-peer way to make a trade. It's great. It's kind of DeFi in a way. And the Lightning Network depends on this opening up a channel for a specific amount of time, the hash time lock contract for the other person. And if the other person does not pick up the money in that time, then the contract closes automatically, and then the money goes back to the first person in the contract. So it's kind of a secure way for somebody to do a transaction with somebody anonymous that they don't know. So point time lock contracts uses an adapter signature construction to replace the hash time lock contracts currently used by the Lightning Network. They use less block space and cannot be correlated on chain when channels close while payments are on flight. Interesting. Decorrelated fashion and uses less block space. Does that provide anonymity? I'm gonna have to, I got to go down this rabbit hole. I'll probably spend today going down this rabbit hole, learning a little bit more about point time lock contracts, because that's interesting to me. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff going on there. Yeah. So somebody said, nice knowledge drop. Yes, I agree. And there's a lot more for me to chew on. I could probably make an entire hour-long episode specifically about this. And then there's another article here that I will have to go deeper down as well. I will link this Twitter thread, and I will also link another Twitter thread down here. Let's see here. Where is it? This one right here. Dapp value capture across decentralized infrastructure. This is a really long article, and I read it last night, and I tried to skim over it again this morning. Um, Again, some of this stuff is over my head, but it's a really great article on how a lot of people are focused on what the Dapps can offer them as the consumer. Well, what about the people writing Dapps? What kind of costs and value can it add? Can it make for those people? And for me, wanting to become kind of in business dev or even a Dapp developer, this is kind of important. And if you are looking to create a Dapp for yourself, and for your company, this might be a great article to read to kind of look at all the angles of all the costs associated with running and creating a Dapp, and what type of value capture will that Dapp provide for you. And it focuses on blockchains, oracles, external resources, and stuff like that. So decentralized applications are a new type of digital application built on blockchains. Unlike most apps today, which consist of closed-sourced code running on centralized servers, dApps are open-source software running on decentralized network. Decentralization is desirable because it removes any single point of control or failure in the dApps execution, generating strong determinism. The Dapp will run exactly as originally coded without counterparty tampering, network downtime, or administrative censorship. Determinism is critical to multi-party process automation, especially when billions to trillions of dollars exchange hands without human intervention. So dApps are completely automated. dApps are built using smart contracts, programs with coded logic that run deterministically on blockchain. If X happens, execute Y action. Most dApps combine several smart contracts to form an application with a specific use case. Some dApps include Bancor, which I've talked about here. It's a DEX with an automated market maker. I've actually done very well in providing liquidity on Bancor. So this is, if you're looking to provide liquidity and do it safely without getting rug pulled, Bancor is a good option to look at, I believe. And then Aave, I also have money locked into Aave, and I have Aave tokens staked on here. This is a very solid decentralized lending protocol here. So you're pretty safe going with Aave. Then Pool Together, this is basically just the lottery. You put some money in here, it's saved and it's accruing interest, and then the interest is given to one lucky winner once a week. And I put $5 a die in there, I guess, 2 years ago, and I have not logged in since. But interesting concept, and I'm not really sure what Fade protocol. Those are just an example of some dApps currently running live across various blockchains. dApps are still in their infancy, meaning they're likely to undergo continual upgrades, and new advanced dApps will emerge that are still yet to be imagined. Instead of focusing on the benefits to Dapp users, hold on one second. Randy says they have pods now. What are pods? Are you talking about Pool Together? So I would love to. I'll have to look more into Pool Together because I haven't been on there in a long time, and see how they've possibly changed. Maybe I'll do tomorrow's episode on Pool Together and kind of dig into so Pool Together, yeah. So I'll look into Pool Together again and try to refresh my $5 die position and see if anything has happened to it. Did I win that? It's once a week, so there may be a chance that I've actually won something. So instead of focusing on benefits to Dapp users' demand side or why cryptocurrency tokens exist, this article examines how value capture from dApps will be distributed across decentralized infrastructure supply side. In a simple sense, what functionalities do dApps require that come with costs, and what layers of infrastructure are best equipped to service those functionalities and capture Dapp fees as a result? It goes. I mean, this article here, I highly recommend. I don't have time to go through it all. I'm at 29 minutes now. But it goes through value capture functionalities such as the settlement layers here in the tech stack, computation, storage, and capital. This is an interesting graphic, DeFi liquidity vortex, and I had to take about 5 or 10 minutes to really kind of study this one. Services. Most apps need several supplementary off-chain services to support their on-chain functions and continual maintenance, such as access to external data, transaction ordering, privacy generation, retail bank payments, enterprise backend system, other blockchains, keeper bots, arbitragers, data indexing, traditional APIs, verifiable randomness, proof of reserves, blockchain abstraction layers. I mean, there's just so much that goes into Dapps that people don't think about whenever they're trying to build a Dapp. They're like, oh yeah, it's just like a website with a wallet on it. No, there's so much stuff you have to consider. And then here they talk extensively about decentralized Oracle networks and Chainlink's role in this. And this is why another reason why I have so much faith in Chainlink. Then they go into governance here. And then macro trends that impact value capture. Network effects is a huge one. And tokenization advantage, these dApps that have their own tokens, they definitely have an advantage of here. And then fees, there's tons of crypto projects. Which ones are people actually paying to use? So obviously the most people are paying to use Ethereum and Uniswap, and Binance Smart Chain. Uniswap version 2 is in there. Bitcoin is surprisingly down here in fifth position. And I'm surprised that QuickSwap and SushiSwap are down here above Bancor. So I thought Bancor was more popular than it is, I guess. Macro trend number 3, interlayer creep. And then they go in to talk about the blockchain trilemma a little bit. A lot of blockchains get into specific little niches, in which one would focus on decentralization, others would focus on scalability and security, and it's hard to find a blockchain that really focuses on and gets this entire trilemma. None of them get it actually perfect. Some are focused more on security, some on scalability, and then decentralization. And then geographic adoption here. As like much as we say we are a global world, there are definitely blockchains that focus in specific economies. Obviously, China and United States have their own versions of a lot of these different apps. But then I've found things like Utrust, for instance, is a transactional type of blockchain that people can use at the pay counter for crypto, and that's mainly for the European market. It's not for us, and I know a lot of the Nimic people want to push Nimic for the entire world, but right now it just doesn't seem that practical for the United States, in my opinion. So change my mind if you're a Nimic person, but I did not see any real practical use for it over here in the United States. And then value capture to consolidate within 4 layers. There's 4 layers of value capture in Dapps. There's the blockchain layer, where you have the miners and the validators capturing value, the miner extractor value, the MEVs by reordering transactions and stuff like that. You have the oracles, which is a cost as well. You have to pay for oracles, and a good oracle, because security is of utmost importance whenever you're writing your own Dapp. And here's just some of the things that oracles can do: fetch data from external APIs delivered on chain, relay smart contracts and outputs to external APIs, aggregate data, automate DevOps and smart contracts maintenance functions with keepers like triggering liquidations and stuff like that, generate verifiable random numbers, perform scalable smart contract and data computation, generate privacy for smart contract computation and data, order user transactions according to predefined notion of fairness to prevent front-running and harmful forms of MEV, operate cross-chain and proof of reserve bridges for wrap tokens, serve as blockchain abstraction layer to read, write data to any... I mean, there's just a lot of stuff these decentralized Oracle networks by Chainlink can do here. And that is a cost for Dapp developers, but it will definitely provide a huge advantage and asset by providing that type of security that people can feel comfortable in putting money into somebody's Dapp. And then external APIs is a third piece of infrastructure to capture Dapp value. And then let's see, there's a fourth one, Dapp tokens, on-chain capital layer. The final layer is the native token of the Dapp, and various external Dapp tokens may be used in a Dapp. So anyway, Yeah, this article goes really in depth, and if you're going to be building your own Dapp, or working for somebody building a Dapp, or just want to learn more about Dapps in general, this is a great article to read, and it's written by Smart Content, and it just made me feel really smart even trying to read this. So, like I said, a lot of this as well was over my head. So, I'm working towards, being able to fully understand a lot of these articles on the first take, and that would be amazing. But I'm not quite there yet. So, a little bit each day, right? Okay. That being said, I got to get my butt to work. Got to go be a sales manager, and I'm not even really like a sales manager anymore, or a salesman. I'm more like a gatekeeper with the way this economy is going. Everybody's wanting to do domestic manufacturing because they can't seem to get anything cheaply and on time. So they're looking for domestic manufacturers. So I'm being barraged with projects and orders, and I'm having to find the projects that actually fit with our plant. And I'm turning a bunch of people away. So a salesman position is definitely changed into more of a curator and a gatekeeper. So it's been interesting. So not really I actually kind of like it better, because I've never really been one of those people that knocks on doors and gives donuts to the secretary and shakes hands and smiles that well. So yeah, so I don't mind this gatekeeping position. It's just all the late orders and the lack of materials that is kind of frustrating. So other than that, yeah. So anyway, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Yeah, you have a great day too, Randy. All right, well, take care. All right, bye.